Hello to all my dear students of class 10. I'm back with another chapter of your syllabus from political science. Since last year, you have been discussing or hearing a lot about democracy, and there were many times that we have come across the term political parties. In class 9, we read about the role of political parties, okay, in the rising democracies, how the political parties have been playing an important role. We've talked about the formation of the constitution, also about the electoral political system, okay, and the making and the working of the government. All right. Now, the nature and the working of political parties, especially in India. This is what our new chapter will be focusing on. Okay, so we begin by asking two common questions. Why do we need political parties? How many parties are good for democracy? And this is how we will be taking forward this new chapter, political parties. Now, let's have a quick look on what we are going to study in this chapter. We are obviously going to look into the meaning of political parties. Then we shall be discussing about the functions of political parties, which is a very important topic here. We will be then proceeding to understanding why we need political parties, or why is there a necessity for political parties. Then how many parties should we have? Okay, the one party system, the two party system, and the multi party system we are going to study about here. And we are then going to study about the national political parties and the state party. Understand the difference between these two party system. And the last topics that we shall be doing in this chapter would be the challenges to political parties and the ways in which we can reform the political parties. Political parties are one of the most visible institution in a democracy. What it means is that every ordinary citizens in our country also, they talk about political parties, and they have some knowledge about political parties. For example, even if you travel to the remote parts of our country, okay, the people who may be less educated, even they might have some idea about political parties. They may not be knowing about constitution of our country, they may not be knowing about the education system of our country, but they know about the political parties. Okay, so that chances are very much there. Okay, and in our country, being a democracies, parties have become identified with the social and political divisions. Okay, parties lay, socially people are divided, politically it has divided people. Okay, and about, if you see, 100 years ago, there were very few countries in the world that were democratic, and that means there were very few countries which had political parties. But now the situation has changed. Now there are very few countries which actually do not have political parties. Okay, so very less chances are there. Okay, so there are many countries today in the world which have adopted a democratic kind of government, and that's why there are political parties in most of the countries of the world. Now let us first understand the meaning of political party. So if we have to go by the definition, the political party is a group of people who come together to contest election and hold power in the government. Okay, so group of people, they come together. Okay, the group of people who are having common ideologies, people who have common objectives, common goal, these kind of people, they make a group. Okay, they come together and they try, contest election, and their goal is to hold the power in the government. Okay, so for example, the Congress party, okay, the INC, the Indian National Congress, which is one of the oldest political party system. It has led the freedom struggle of our country, right? So the INC was formed by a group of people who wanted to contest election and who wanted to form the government in their country. Okay, उनीहरूको एउटै goal थियो, एउटै objective थियो, that was to throw away the Britishers and take the charge of their country. Okay, they wanted to contest election and they wanted to form the government and they wanted to free India from the foreign rule. Okay, so that is how all these like-minded people who had this intention to free India, they came together and they formed the political party. So all this group of people in a political party, they have some policies and they have programs for the society with the view of promoting the collective good. That means a political party, all this group of people, they come together and they make certain policies and they make certain programs for the benefit of the whole society. So there can be different views of what is good for all. Okay, so different people different choices हुन्छ. Everybody does not have a same choice, right? So के गर्छ, parties they try to persuade people, okay, on the basis of their policies and their program. Okay, so उनीहरूको जुन चाहिँ policies छ, programs छ, every party त्यो policies and programs को throughबाट people लाई persuade गर्ने try गर्छ. Okay, and they basically try to say why their party is better than the other. Okay, and most of the parties they seek to implement these policies by winning the popular support through the elections. Okay, so that means after they win these elections, the parties के गर्छ, whatever policies and programs उनीहरूले जुन चाहिँ बनाएको छ त्यसैलाई नै उनीहरूले के गर्छ, implement गर्ने के गर्छ, try गर्छ when they form the government. So parties reflect fundamental political division in a society. Okay, so because different parties they have different policies and programs, right? Different parties like different group of people को idea लाई promote गर्छ या support गर्छ. Okay, so it creates a kind of political division in the society because every party's को policies and programs के हुन्छ different हुन्छ. Okay, so that is how parties they are a part of a society and thus involves partition. Okay, so parties they are a part of a society, right, and involves partitionship. Now partitionship भनेको के हो भन्दाखेरि, see, first thing let's understand the meaning of partition. So when we say partition, it means a person who is very very strongly committed to a party, group or a faction. That means कुनै एउटा person जो चाहिँ एउटा पार्टीमा एकदमै स्ट्रङली उसले त्यो पार्टीलाई सपोर्ट गर्छ है, त्यो पार्टीको आइडियोलोजी, त्यो पार्टीको पोलिसिज, त्यो पार्टीको प्रोग्राम सँग ऊ एकदमै कमिटेड छ, डिभोटेड छ, त्यही पार्टीमाथि नै बिलिभ गर्छ, उसले सपोर्ट गर्छ. द्याट इज वाट यु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड बाई पार्टिसन. अलराइट, नाउ पार्टिसनसिप भनेको चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि, इन पार्टिसनसिप इट इज मार्क्ड बाई अ टेन्डेन्सी टु टेक अ साइड and inability to take a balanced view on an issue. Okay, so what happens is that partisanship ma चाहिँ because the person is very much devoted to खाली एउटै पार्टीलाई मात्रै उसले के गर्छ, बिलिभ गर्छ या सपोर्ट गर्छ, के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि त्यस्तो खालके हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ what will happen is that that person the partisan जुन चाहिँ छ, the person जुन चाहिँ छ, he does not have an ability to take a balanced view on an issue, right? That means कुनै पनि इस्युमा उसले के गर्दैन, ब्यालेन्स्ड वेमा उसले के गर्नु सक्दैन, सोच्नु सक्दैन, बिकज उसले के गर्छ, आफ्नै पार्टीको आइडियोलोजिज र पोलिसिजलाई मात्रै के गर्छ, बिलिभ गर्छ, खालि त्यो मात्रै राम्रो हो भनेर उसले के गर्छ, बिलिभ गर्छ. सो द्याट्स वाइ ही डज नट कन्सिडर द बिलिफ or the ideologies of other party as good. Okay, so that is why there is a tendency to take side. That means उसले आफ्नै पार्टीलाई मात्रै के गर्छ, आफ्नै पार्टीको मात्रै के गर्छ, सपोर्ट लिन्छ. ओके, अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि उसले एउटा ब्यालेन्स्ड भ्यू है, एउटा ब्यालेन्स्ड भ्यू, एउटा राइट खालके जजमेन्ट, अ फेयर जजमेन्ट गर्नु सक्दैन कुनै पनि एउटा इस्युमा. ओके, सो पार्टिजले गर्दाखेरि के हुन्छ, देयर इज अल्सो के हुन्छ सोसाइटीमा, देयर इज अ पार्टिसनसिप. ओके, this happens because different political parties have different policies and they have different programs. Okay, सबै political parties को आफ्नो आफ्नो policies, आफ्नो आफ्नो programs हुन्छ, and because of which there is a political division in a society and there is also partisanship. Okay, so I hope you've got the meaning of political party. Now, political party, this may come up as a one marker question. Okay, what is the meaning of political party? Okay, so then you have to write a group of people who come together to do what? That is to contest election. And can a contest garcha elections ma? Because they want to form the government and they want to hold the power in the government. Okay, so that is what you mean by political parties. Now, the political party has three main components. That means कुनै पनि political party यो तीनटा चीजले बनेको हुन्छ. What are they? First thing is a leader. Every political party ma there is a leader. Okay, the person who is leading the whole party. Okay, that is a leader. Okay, the second component, important component of political party is an active member. Okay, now सबैजना त leaders हुनु सक्दैन हैन. So there are some members in the political parties जो चाहिँ एकदमै के हुन्छ, active हुन्छ. They are very very active participants. They are very very active people in the political party. So hence they are called the active members. Okay, now the third component, which is also very important, they are called the followers. That means they are the ones जसले चाहिँ पार्टीको आइडियोलोजी, पार्टीको मोटो या पार्टीको जुन चाहिँ पोलिसीज, प्रोग्राम, लिडर्स, मेम्बर्सहरूलाई के गर्छ, सपोर्ट गर्छ र फलो गर्छ. They are termed as the followers. Okay, so this is or these are the three components that makes a political party. Okay, कुनै पनि political party. Alright, they are made up of leaders, active members and followers. Now, functions of the political party. This is a very important section from this chapter. We can say 2018 मा पनि यो section बाट question आएको थियो. Sometimes it can come as a 3-marker question. That means 3 marks go, or it may also be asked in the 5 marks question. So let us now understand the functions of political parties one by one. So the first function of a political party is that party contest elections. Okay, so party ko first function is that they have to contest elections. Okay, so parties form garcha, but the parties form garera matai hundaina. These parties haru ke garnu paryo, in order to form the government, government form गर्नको लागि चाहिँ उनीहरुले के गर्नु पर्यो, election मा contest गर्नु पर्यो. Okay, now in most of the elections, the parties they choose candidates, and elections are fought among the candidates. Okay, so candidates को बीचमा election के हुन्छ, it is fought. Okay, so and each political party ले के गर्छ, आफ्नो आफ्नो candidate के गर्छ, choose गर्छ from different constituencies. Okay, now the parties select their candidates in different ways. Okay, now one of the way is that party ko jo सबैजना members supporters they come together and they choose the candidate. Okay, for example, in USA, the members or supporters of a political party, they come together and they choose the candidate who will contest the elections for them. Now the second way is top leaders of a political party, they choose the candidates. For example, in India, okay, the topmost leaders jo huncha, unharle ke garcha, they choose the candidate. Alright, so this is how in different ways political parties they choose their candidate. Okay, and these candidates ke garcha, they represent the political party and contest in the election. Okay, or fight in the election. So the second function of political party is that political parties, they put forward policies and programs, and the voters, they actually choose political parties based on their policies and programs. Okay, so as I said earlier, parties form bhayeपछि the next thing उनीहरुले के form गर्नु पर्यो, policies आफ्नो programs उनीहरुले के गर्नु पर्छ, बनाउनु पर्छ, and based on these policies and programs voters ले के गर्छ, political parties like choose garcha. Okay, now different people have different opinions. Okay, you and I, we don't have the same choices. Okay, हाम्रो views same छैन, हाम्रो opinions may not be the same. Okay, but the government cannot they cannot handle the different variety of views and opinions of the people. Okay, so government के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि in a democracy जति पनि large number of similar opinions छ, त्यो similar opinions हरुलाई उनीहरुले के गर्छ, they bring it together. Okay, and they provide directions and they formulate policies for the government. Okay, and this is how parties ले के गर्छ, they reduce the vast multitudes of opinions. That means जति पनि different opinions छ, different people को opinions छ. Okay, उनीहरुले के गर्छ, त्यसबाट few basic चीजहरु या basic positionsहरु जुन चाहिँलाई चाहिँ उनीहरुले support गर्न सक्छ, त्यसलाई के गर्छ, उनीहरुले आफ्नो policies या त programsहरु बनाउँछ. So when the political party after they win the elections, they try to formulate these policies and programs. Okay, so जुन चाहिँ ruling party हुन्छ, okay, the party जुन चाहिँले चाहिँ government form गर्छ, they try to bring in their policies and programs in implementation. That means whatever policies programs उनीहरुले लिएर उनीहरु जुन चाहिँ elections जितेको छ, त्यसलाई actually implement गर्ने try गर्छ after they win the elections. Now, the third very important function of a political party is concerning the role in the law making. Okay, so we all know that laws are made in the legislature. We have two legislature, I know, the legislature which is for the whole country, okay, and we have the legislature at the state level. Okay, so national legislature and the state legislature, and laws are made in the legislature. Okay, and how these laws are made, we all know that laws baninu banda agadi ke huncha, parliament ma there is a lot of debate, okay, and there is a lot of discussions and deliberations, and finally after sabai janale त्यसलाई agree गरेपछि मात्रै के गर्छ, उनीहरुले त्यो law बनिन्छ. Okay, now the most of the members who are sitting in the legislature, they belong to a political party. All the MPs and the MLAs that are sitting in the legislature, उनीहरु कुनै न कुनै political parties मा के गर्छ, belong गर्छ. Okay, and they go by the direction of the leadership irrespective of their personal opinions. So when the laws are made, okay, all these MPs and MLAs, they keep aside their personal opinion. Okay, that means उनीहरुले personal opinions लाई side मा राखेर, they have to work as a team. Okay, so they work under the leadership, and they, irrespective of their personal opinions, उनीहरुले के गर्छ, whatever the majority of the member want, according to that, they make the laws. All right. So, making law, that is another function of the political parties. The next function of the political party is that they form and run the government. So, government ko le form garcha, the party that wins the election with majority support, they form the government. Okay, so government form garnuko lagi, the political party has to get majority support. Okay, and that is how they form the government. Alright, so once they form the government, the big policy decisions are taken by the political executives that come from the political parties. Okay, so if you remember last year, the political executives, right? The political executive, they have a very important power. So all these political executives only important decisions are passed garnu paryo, right? And all these political executives come around this, they are all members of the political parties. Okay, so political parties, after they win the election, after leaders choose garcha, okay, they train them and they are given in charge of different kind of ministries, okay, and that is how they run the government. Okay, so there are some ministers who are given in charge of education. There is some minister who is given in charge of the foreign affairs. Okay, and this is how different ministries they are formed. That is how the political party run the government. Now, the parties also form opposition. Now, the party that wins the election, they form the government, right? But the party that does not win the election, okay, they also have a very important role. Okay, and that is they form the opposition. Now, in a democracy, the opposition also has a very important function. Okay, that means opposition ko pani ekdamai important role huncha. And this was what was asked in 2019. 3 marks question was there. What were the functions of opposition, or what are the functions of opposition party? Okay, so as I said, opposition party in a democracy also have a very important function. Okay, now one is the opposition party, they keep a check on the government. That means the ruling government, the ruling party, okay, the party that has won the election and that the party that has formed the government, त्यो government को decisions लाई check गर्नु, okay, to check and balance maintain गर्नको लागि चाहिँ the opposition has to play a very important role. Okay, they voice their opinion on different views. Okay, that means उनीहरूले आफ्नो opinionsहरूलाई उनीहरूले voice गर्छ. Okay, different people को opinions लाई उनीहरूले represent गर्छ. Okay, they criticize the government for its failure and the wrong policies. That means if a government takes a wrong decision, if the government is not able to take a good step, okay, if the policies of the governments are not helping the people or which is not helping the country भनेपछि oppositionले government को policies हरूलाई के गर्न सक्छ, openly criticize गर्न सक्छ. They can criticize the government for the wrong decisions that they are taking. Okay, and this is how they opposition, they they mobilize opposition to the government, and they make or they keep the government accountable. The ruling government जो छ, the ruling party जुन चाहिँ छ, उनीहरूलाई accountable, responsible बनाउनुमा उनीहरूले के गर्छ, help गर्छ by mobilizing opposition to the government. Okay, so in a democracy the opposition party also has a very important role. Okay, so another function of political party is that they also form opposition. Okay, opposition party कसले form गर्छ? Normally the party that is defeated in the election, they form the opposition. Okay, and they also have a very important role. Now the next function of political party is parties, they shape public opinion. Okay, so parties ले public opinion, that means people को जुन चाहिँ the local people को or the common people को opinion लाई पनि के गर्छ, shape गर्न सक्छ. Okay, now party they raise and highlight different issues. We are well aware of it, right? So every political party, whether it is the ruling party or whether it is the opposition party, they raise and they highlight the different issues of people. Okay, there are lakhs of members of political parties. Okay, they are spread all over the country. Okay, there are many members. Political party को जुन चाहिँ members हरु हुन्छ, supporters हरु हुन्छ, active people, activists हरु हुन्छ, they are spread all over the country. Okay, and कतिवटा pressure groups जुन चाहिँ छ, they are actually extension of the political parties. Okay, pressure groups जसले चाहिँ government को decision लाई pressurize गर्छ. Okay, so this pressure groups हरु पनि they are actually an extension, they are an extended part of political parties, and they are present in every section of the societies. Okay, parties ले sometimes के गर्न सक्छ, movements हरु launch गर्न सक्छ. Okay, for the resolution of the problems faced by the people. Okay, so people face many problems, right? So people को different problems जुन चाहिँ छ, त्यो problem को solution find गर्नको लागि parties हरुले के गर्छ, movements हरु पनि के गर्छ, launch गर्छ. And that is how उनीहरुले public opinion लाई shape गर्नु सक्छ. Now the last function of the political party is that the political party provide people access to government machinery and the welfare schemes. Okay, so जति पनि welfare schemes या government को जति पनि schemes, programs हरु हुन्छ, okay, त्यो जब launch हुन्छ, okay, when it is implemented, there may be many problems in its implementation. Okay, to implementation हुँदाखेरि people may face many problems. Okay, people may not know about it, people may not have proper knowledge about it, so there can be many problems that can come on the process of implementation. Okay, र त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ the ordinary citizens को लागि चाहिँ it is much more easier for them to approach a local leader than a government officer. Okay, so government को officer लाई approach गर्नु भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ common people को लागि चाहिँ कसलाई approach गर्न सजिलो, to approach the local leader. Okay, parties have to be responsive to the people's need and demands. Otherwise, what will happen? Next election ma, they will not be accepted by the people. Basically, they will be rejected. People will not vote for them. Okay, so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ parties के गर्छ, they try to respond to the need of the people, to the demands of the people. Alright, so this is how पार्टीले के गर्छ गभर्नमेन्टको जति पनि वेलफेयर स्किम्स प्रोग्राम्सहरू छ त्यो चाहिँ पिपललाई एक्सेसिबल बनाउने ट्राई गर्छ द्याट मिन्स पिपलले त्यसलाई युज गरोस् त्यसको फाइदा उठाओस् भनेर त्यसमा हेल्प के गर्छ जेनेरेट गर्छ okay so the political parties they also provide people access to all the government machinery and the welfare schemes okay so जस्तै एउटा villageमा एउटा common people लाई panchayatलाई approach गर्नु चाहिँ it is much more easier because the panchayat is a representative from that village है so the common people he is more close to the panchayat than some secretary or some deputy of some different department okay so like a problem हुँदैछ कुनै वेलफेयर स्किमको बारेमा मलाई जान्नु छ त्यसको बेनिफिट लिनु छ भने उले कसलाई अप्रोच गर्न सजिलो पञ्चायतलाई अप्रोच गर्न सजिलो एन्ड एज अ पञ्चायत पनि त्यो पञ्चायतको ड्युटी के हो टु he will try to help the person okay and provide him all the benefit of that welfare scheme okay the welfare scheme ko benefit त्यो मान्छेले पाओस् भनेर उले के गर्छ ट्राई गर्छ the reason is because he has to listen to or respond to the need and the demand of the people otherwise के हुन्छ next election मा he may lose the election that person may not vote for him okay so because of the fear of rejection political parties they respond to people's needs and demand okay so these are the 7 functions of political parties okay so this is very very important topic from this chapter now the next topic that we have is the necessity of political parties basically political parties why do we need it okay किन चाहिँ political party एकदमै needful छ that is the next topic that we are going to do so to understand the need of a political party let us imagine a situation when we don't have political parties छैन भने what will be the situation like okay so के हुन्छ when there is no political parties भनेपछि all the people or all the candidates के हुन्छ they are independent candidates that means they are not attached to any political party okay so त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि के हुन्छ every candidate in an election will be independent no one will be able to make any promises to the people about any major policy changes okay government form हुन्छ तर त्यसको जुन चाहिँ युज हुन्छ त्यो uncertain हुन्छ that means कसैले पनि गभर्नमेन्टले यस्तो गर्छ भनेर भन्नु सक्दैन because एउटा इन्डिपेन्डेन्ट क्यान्डिडेटले के गर्नु सक्दैन मेजर पोलिसी चेन्जेसहरू ल्याउनु सक्दैन हैन सो युनिफर्म डिसिजन्स लिनु सक्दैन okay moreover the person will not be accountable and that means he will not be accountable for the benefit of the larger section of the society that means the independent candidate जुन चाहिँ जग्गाको जुन चाहिँ constituency को हो उ त्यसको लागि मात्रै के हुन्छ accountable हुन्छ अरु the rest of the country को लागि उ के हुँदैन accountable हुँदैन okay so the drawback will be that no one would be responsible for the welfare of the country so if we don't have political parties that means कुनै major decisions बनिनु सक्दैन कुनै uniform decision pass हुन सक्दैन okay nobody will be accountable that means कोही पनि whole country को लागि के हुँदैन responsible हुँदैन okay all the independent candidates they will only be responsible for their own constituency जहाँबाट उ छ इलेक्टेड भएको छ त्यहाँको लागि मात्रै के हुन्छ अकाउन्टेबल हुन्छ ओके सो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि there will be nothing uniform or there will be no common thread between all the country okay so no one will be responsible for running the whole country for the administration of the whole country okay for the benefit or the development of the whole country okay so this is what happens when we don't have political party so there are many problems that we will face if we do not have political parties thus in a democracy political parties are very very important okay now in the previous session we read about the different functions of political parties okay there were total 7 functions that we read about right so all these 7 functions ले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ all the 7 functions of the political parties makes it easier for them to run the country okay एउटा countryलाई administrate गर्नको लागि चाहिँ all these functions of the political parties they play a very important role okay because of the different functions that the political party performs we need to have political party okay the second reason why we need political party is because the society that we live in this society is very very large and it is very very complex. Okay, the society that we live in त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै large छ and it is very very complex because all the people in living in our society, they are not the same. Okay, we are all different in our own ways. All right, so in such kind of large society where there are different kind of people, we need to have a representative democracy. That means since we all cannot become leaders, we all need to have a process through which we can choose our representative, and these representatives take decision on our behalf. Okay, so representatives through political parties. Okay, because political parties चाहिँ के हो, हाम्रो representative हो. That is why we need political parties. Okay, the third reason is because, okay, so a responsible government form हुनुको लागि पनि we need to have political parties. Okay, the next reason is because the different views and opinions of the society, they can be expressed through a single agency. Okay, so as we have discussed earlier, political parties के गर्छ, यो अलग अलग views and opinions जुन चाहिँ छ people को, त्यसलाई के गर्छ, they bring it together. Okay, so a single agency ko through बाट different views and opinions of the society are expressed. Okay, or it can be expressed. Okay, so political parties ले अलग अलग people या अलग अलग group of people को opinions, views हरूलाई के गर्छ, express गर्छ. Okay, and that is the reason why we need political parties. And the last reason why we need political party is because it creates a mechanism to support or restrain the government. They may create a mechanism to make policies, justify or oppose them. Okay, so political parties ले के गर्छ भन्दाखेरि एउटा mechanism, एउटा system create गर्छ. Okay, through which हामीले government like कुनै कामको लागि support गर्न सक्छ या कुनै कामको लागि हामीले उनीहरूलाई restrain, control गर्नु सक्छ. Okay, we can also it also creates a mechanism to make policies जुन चाहिँले चाहिँ whole country लाई के गर्छ, guide गर्छ. Okay, and justify or oppose the different kind of policies. So these are the various reasons why we need to have political parties. Okay, so it is an understood fact that in a democracy there needs to be a political party. Okay, so every democratic country, whether they are big or small, whether they are a newly democratic country or a democratic country since ages, they all need to have political parties. Okay, or political parties are a very essential part of democratic countries. Okay, and we need to have political parties because they perform many functions. All right, they have very important roles in a democracy, which we have just discussed. So I hope you have understood. That is it for today. Thank you.